What's up, everybody? Are we going to be doing Mac Miller's Before They Were Gone? Biography, RIP to Mac Miller. Recipes. You will be missed with all your favorite fans that you look up to, all your friends look up to, and let's get this on a roll. I wish you wasn't gone, so let's do this.
So rapping to the beat. Meet the groom and my fiddler try move their feet.
Before Mac Miller would rise to international stardom off his debut studio album, Blue Slide Park, which landed on the #1 spot on the Billboard 200. Before Mac Miller would release his LP Swimming just this summer of 2018, and it would land at #3 on the Billboard 200. Before Mac Miller started his own reality show, dated Ariana Grande, and opened up about his struggles with drugs and depression.
I had a drug problem, for a long time. It wasn't just in music. And I think it was more my state of mind. I was just pretty depressed.
Before Mac found himself in legal hot water, getting sued by 70s band Aquarium Dream, as well as one of his idol's producers, Lord Finesse, also getting arrested on charges of drunk driving and a hit and run.
I lived a certain life for 10 years and faced almost no real consequence at all.
Growing up obsessed with music from even his earliest of days, Mac, he definitely had the odds stacked against him. A white Jewish Pittsburgh kid hailing from the same high school as Wiz Khalifa, you can imagine there were a few naysayers. But Mac Miller, he persevered. He worked his butt off that he had multiple mixtapes and collabs by the time he finished high school, and not long after, well, he found himself at the #1 spot on Billboard 200. He had found himself at the top of show business, and he had a girl on his arm by the name of Ariana Grande. Now, despite unbelievable continued success, the man still had his demons and despair. The LP Swimming that he just released, it climbed to the top of the charts, but simultaneously he was dealing with a new DUI, and his relationship, it had just fallen apart. Now, this has been one tragic summer. I don't know what to say.
Overdosing is just not cool. You don't go down in history because you overdosed. You just die.
What's going on, guys? It's your boy Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of Mac Miller prior to his untimely passing, here for you on Before They Were Gone. Now, I know there are some people that will have their things to say about this series. I gotta remind you guys, this is a biography channel. We cover the most topical person on any given day, every day of the week. Mainstream media, they've been doing this for like 100 years. So if you have anything bad to say, send your Twitter tweets to TMZ or The Guardian or The Mirror. Their headline was disgusting. This video is meant to be a tribute to this man. And with that said, please leave your condolences in the comments down below or share your favorite memory of Mac. All right, there we go. Malcolm James McCormick was born on January 19th, 1992 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and he grew up in the Point Breeze neighborhood. He came up in a creative home. His father, Mark McCormick, he worked as an architect, and his mother, Karen Myers, well, she was a photographer. Malcolm's family is Jewish. He had a bar mitzvah, and he celebrated the Jewish high holidays. Now, because of his religion, he described himself as the coolest Jewish rapper. Of course, Mac Miller would soon find a few Jewish peers with Drake and Lil Dicky, but back when Malcolm was growing up, well, the only Jewish rappers that anyone had heard about were the Beastie Boys. And like them, well, Malcolm's first foray into music, it wasn't in hip-hop. According to some old family videos, well, he was a born performer. During his tween years at Winchester Thurston School, Malcolm had dreams of becoming a singer-songwriter. He learned how to play the guitar, but apparently no one was a big fan of his singing. Still, clearly he was musically gifted. Now, Mac, he taught himself to play the piano, the drums, and the bass. But he would stumble upon his musical destiny by chance at the age of just 14. He and his boys, they were hanging out, smoking weed. A beat was playing, and for the first time ever, well, Malcolm, he spit a freestyle. Now, it was better than anyone expected, and soon enough, he was hooked. Well, not to weed, but to rapping. Okay, to be honest, to a little bit of both. Now, according to his friend Jimmy, they had been smoking for quite some time. I'm 2 years older than him. We smoked our first cigarette in the 3rd grade. We both smoked weed for the first time in 5th grade. Around the time he started rapping, Mac found other passions that would last for years. He met a girl in 8th grade who he would go on to date from junior year to high school until, well, basically he met Ariana. Now Mac, he would later explain that relationship will inspire his project Macadelic. Macadelic was all about us, this love, drug stuff, how love and drugs are the same thing. Our relationship was fucking me up. It made me think of myself as a bad person. We're no longer together. In terms of musical influences, Mac has listed A Tribe Called Quest, Lauryn Hill, Beastie Boys, Outkast, Big L. Well, those are some of his earliest influencers. For high school, Mac attended Taylor Alderdice High School, which was formerly attended by rapper Wiz Khalifa. He graduated the same year Mac would have been entering the freshman year, but the two, they would soon connect to be frequent collaborators. Now, to be honest, Malcolm, he wasn't the best student. He would cut class for a week and months at a time, and when he did show up to school, it usually wasn't to attend class. Instead, he would hand out CDs or freestyle with his buddies. Now, on the rare occasion that Mac found himself inside the classroom, well, he would use the time to write lyrics in his notebook. He would pull all-nighters to do the same, and to fund his studio time, well, he would resort to petty theft. Now, one of the earliest videos of Mac Miller rapping that I could find on YouTube is titled Hallway Freestyle, and this is from 2009. And back then, he was going by the name of Easy Mac.
This for my people who be rising to the top with their eyes on the guap, the world of time, you winning out and looking flyer than a flock of birds, smile to the haters.
Mac has said that his sound and style has evolved over time. Talking about his high school days, he stated, "I was a grimy-ass rapper, all my shit was angry white rapper, 10th grade angst." At the age of 15, he had already created an entire mixtape titled But My Macking Ain't Easy. And despite his self-criticism, well, Mac's talents were on full display, and he regularly uploaded videos to YouTube.
Easy Mac rap slick and sensational, fooling fools out their shoes like the 1st of April.
The man was also a workaholic. He released a mixtape in 2008, two more in 2009. He would also feature alongside Killer Mike on the 15 song, May the Force Be With Yo. And he also worked as the one-half duo of The Ill Spoken. It makes sense, well, that he didn't have much time for school. Remarkably, he still graduated.
Misbehave, I'm a troublemaking teenager.
Another thing Mac tried to do to make some extra money for studio time was drug dealing. But apparently, well, he wasn't too good at it. He would sell really shitty weed and promise his clients that it was high grade. Unfortunately for him, well, he'd be inheriting some money. That's right, his grandfather passed away while he was a high school senior, and Mac had enough money to get his own apartment, which apparently, well, was located right next to his high school, his buddy Jimmy said. It was hilarious. He would never go to school, even though he lived right next to it. Mac graduated from high school in 2010, and that summer, he would release his mixtape Kids, a project that would change his life, and record companies, well, they had already began taking notice of the young up-and-comer. In advance of the mixtape's release, well, Mac signed with Rostrum Records and dropped the project with the label. Included on this would be his first real single, Knock Knock, which would chart Billboard, peaking at number 88. It would also be certified gold by RIAA. All of a sudden, he was taking home awards at the Pittsburgh Hip Hop Awards. Also in 2010, Mac went on tour for the first time, called the Incredibly Dope Tour. But while on stage in 2011, he and his friends were arrested after getting caught with some weed. Now, Mac, he had found instant stardom. He released 4 singles that charted the Billboard in 2011. Party on Fifth Avenue would be certified gold, and he would get his first platinum single with the track Donald Trump. He would also be featured on the 2011 XXL freshman class list, alongside artists like Meek Mill, Big Crit, YG, Yellow Wolf, and Kendrick Lamar. On November 8, 2011, Mac released his debut studio album, Blue Slide Park, and the project was certified gold, selling 100,000 copies in its first week. And of course, that album would climb to number 1. Now, the kid, he had literally made it to the top of the game. His next big accomplishment was a little lady on his arm. Ariana Grande and Mac Miller, they first hit it off via Twitter, and the two, well, they started recording music together soon after. They were on a Christmas song together. Then Mac jumped on her track, The Way, and this absolutely blew up. It was on the set of this video shoot that they shared their first kiss, and from there on out, well, it seemed the two were madly in love. Business was good for the most part. Mac would go on to release 3 hit studio albums between 2013 and 2016. In 2014, he left Rostrum Records after independently releasing Faces, and he revealed that his label, Remember Music, well, they had signed a deal with him and Warner Bros. Records for a reported $10 million. So business was really, really good. But there were signs of underlying issues. Tracks on the mixtape Faces gave ominous lyrics about hard drug use and musing over premature death. On the upside, his relationship, it looked hot as hell. The two worked on a handful of tracks together, and when Ariana was involved in the Manchester bombing incident, well, Mac was there at the airport to kiss her well. But we all know, well, there were problems going on behind the scenes. Now, last May, Miller caught a DUI after crashing his Mercedes-Benz G-Class in Southern California, and, well, then he went silent on social media. Ariana, she tweeted out, "Take care of yourself," and later went public about the breakup, making it clear that addiction was part of the problem. "I am not a babysitter or a mother, and no woman should feel that they need to be. I have cared for him and tried to support his sobriety and prayed for his balance for years, and always will, of course. But shaming, blaming women for a man's inability to keep his shit together is a very major problem." Now, there was a lot going on for Mac Miller at this time. There were legal issues that were settled out of court. Of course, he had his addictions, lean, and other drugs. Also, he was struggling with the pressures of fame. The man had lost his identity. Just last month, he released his LP Swimming, which landed at the number 3 spot on the Billboard 200, which is an incredible accomplishment, sitting just below Drake's Scorpion and Travis Scott's Astroworld. Now, the man only did so much publicity for the album, and he seemed to be in good spirits. He was also often asked about how he felt about his ex-girlfriend now being engaged, and, well, he was pretty mum on the subject. He just wished them the best. The last post on Mac's social media account was posted on the night before his passing, a video of a record player playing his song So It Goes. The lyrics read, "9 lives, never die, f*** heaven, I'm still getting high." Mac Miller was found dead in his San Fernando home on September 7, 2018 of an apparent overdose. Now, I may update you in the future regarding this information if it changes. As for the rest of the story, well, it lives on in his music.
So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and turn our notification bells on. And rest in peace, Mac Miller. You will be missed. Love you guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a great day. Bye.